Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. My name is Michelle. And as you can see, we have got our turtle mold out and I have this box over here. And I have got some turquoise stones. So, what we're going to do today is I am going to put the turquoise stones where the flippers are and in his head. And down in here. I'm not going to go around the shell because I'm going to do that hopefully a different color. So what I'm going to do is I'll mix up some resin. I'm going to get some stones. We're going to get them in there. I'm going to let those set at least until they're like tacky. And then we will move on to step 2. So before we get into this, I want to go over, Craftor reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a giveaway for you guys. And I said, absolutely. So they let me choose the size of the resin bottles. So there's going to be 3 winners, 3. And I could pick from 16, 32, or 64. So obviously for you guys, I picked 64. So this is the package that will be one of the packages that's going to be sent out. This one here is mine. I'm going to open it, show you what's inside, but I'm going to use one of my bottles that's already open. I haven't opened this one yet. So I will show you what is inside so you'll know what you're getting. So if you haven't tried Craftor, this would be a perfect time to enter. And I will go over the specifics of that in a minute. So you get some cups. You get the part A, 64 ounce, and the part B, 64 ounce. Then you get you get a couple of scrapers, a couple of stir paddles. You guys know I love these. You get your instructions. It's 1-to-1 mixing ratio. Very, very good resin. And then you get a whole bunch of these gloves. So this is what you could win. It is only open at this time to U.S. residents. They are working on expanding that. So that is what is up for grabs, guys. I'm going to leave the cups out because, you know, I use my cups all the time. So, you're going to have to watch the whole video. Yes, I'm going to make you work for it because I did pick the larger resin size. So, the first thing you must do is you have to be a subscriber to my page and to Craftor page. And it is spelled B-O-N-D, and then Craftor is C-R-A-F-T-O-R. So, and they do have a YouTube page. So that is the first thing that you must do. The second thing is you got to give a thumbs up to this video. And then there's going to be 2 other things throughout this video that I will mention, and then you can comment on those. So, and you must also at least comment on my video. All right, and I wrote these down so I know exactly what I'm asking. So, that being said, I'm going to get some resin mixed up. I do not remember how much this takes, but I think I'm going to just mix up 2 ounces to start because I only want to do the head and the 4 flipper things to start with. So 4 might be a little bit much because we are going to be putting these turquoise shells in there. So yeah. So let me get that mixed up and then I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I mixed up 2 ounces. I hand mixed it and it went from like 45 degrees to like 15 last night, and my room is cold. So I did run it through the debubbler for like 6 minutes. There's still a ton of bubbles, but we're going to make bubbles anyhow when I start mixing the resin. So I'm going to just let this kind of degas as we mix up some of these stones. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some resin in here. So I do want these coated enough that I'm not going to have like air bubbles on the top when we demold it, but I want them to be thick enough that we don't have like a whole excess of clear. So I'm just, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the 2 ounces is going to be more than what I need, but and then I've got my, and what I do is I save my the 16-ounce bottles and I just refill them with the big gallon jugs. So I'm gonna leave that in my room, so when I mix the next layer, it's gonna be much better. All right, so those are coated, but I think I'm definitely gonna still need a little bit more. Because like I said, I want there to be enough resin to like settle to the bottom. So, and I will give that a spray. And I guess we'll start with the head area. And I know I will have some cleanup on the shell part, but that's okay. We can do that after. So I also, guys, I really could use your help. I entered one of my paintings into a contest, and it got accepted, and voting starts on Monday, which should be when this video goes out. So I did put a link. It's through Facebook, but I did put a link in the very top of the description box. So everybody can vote once a day. So, you know, if you have a Facebook page and you would like to help me out, I would really appreciate that. All right, and I don't even think I'm going to fill it. We'll see. I might go back and put more. I don't know yet. Come on. It's too early in this video to be making messes. I guess not. because that's what we're going to do, you know, because that's what I do best. Because the last one I had done all around the shell, and I thought, let's do something a little different. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we don't know if we don't at least try, right? So yeah, so hopefully I don't forget to mention it, the voting in all of my videos, because I would really appreciate any help. And most of the entries are photography. So I was surprised that they accepted mine where it's an oil painting. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of flattening them down. Because like I said, I just want them in the flippers, not on the shell. And like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of cleanup as far as the shell goes. I just figured this might give it that little bit of texture on those flippers. So then hopefully the resin will flow down and underneath those these crystals or stones or whatever they are, shells. Yeah, words are hard today. And luckily enough, this shell, I mean this mold, is light enough that, you know, you can kind of see what you've got in there. And then I will take a baby wipe and wipe all the resin off of like this part and in the shell. Because I have to use the top of the mold to scrape the shells so I can get them in where I need them. Add a little bit of something. And you can actually see where the flipper ends and the shell starts. So that is a good thing as well. Okay. And this side is definitely a little bit heavier on the stone, so let me fix that. All right, so I think I'm trying to like get them even, and that's the hardest part. So what I was thinking of maybe doing is, you know, trying to make something like iridescent for the shell part, but I don't know if I have anything that I could do that with. I was thinking about using the fantasy film, but all the ones that I have are just little strips. So I don't know, I might look at that and see if I can maybe piece some pieces together. So I guess we didn't even need an ounce. So like I said, I will probably drizzle a little bit of resin in there. So you know what I think I'm gonna do is I think I am gonna fill those cavities. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's gonna look weird if it's just the top. So, but see how good this resin degasses, as bubbly as it was. All right, so this layer I'm gonna make a little bit soupier. So we'll start back with the head, because I know that first layer is, and that way I won't have to try and clean up, you know, the top of the shell in these areas. And then we'll just see if I should have left it clear or not. Okay. And if you don't want to, you know, watch me just putting these in, you know, feel free to fast forward. I know I have a few newbies on here, and they like to see the whole process, or how you can, you know, you get to one point and you're like, I think the other way, you know, if I fill it, it's going to look better. And so it's okay to change your mind halfway through a project. 90% of the time, that is what I do. So again, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm still keeping them in the shell as much as I can. In the, not in the shell, but in the area for the flippers. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna at least make them a little bit higher. Okay. And then that loose resin hopefully will flow down into the bottom. And then if we do have any bubbles, well, I will have to fix them, that's all. Because any of the resin that's left up in here will end up looking like bubbles, like that. If that dried like that, it would look like bubbles. So it depends on what look you're kind of going for. I'm going to try to wipe some of that off. I know I won't get all of it because trying to get my finger in there is going to be difficult, but you know, it is a sea turtle. And I'll probably leave this about an hour. And by then it should have thickened up enough that we won't have, you know, everything running once I pour the next layer. And if I end up painting the shell, I know, you know, at least that will be somewhat firm. Okay. So that's looking good. And Okay, so that's looking good. Let's grab a baby wipe and some alcohol. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to try to wipe some of that resin off of the top. And then I can just kind of go back in with my stick. After I get everything wiped. And that way, if I do decide to put like a chameleon powder or something down, I'm not going to have all those, that dried resin giving it a different look than what I want. So, to push that back in. All right, so now I'm going to take this and just kind of make sure that they're just in the parts that they're supposed to be. That one looks good. And that. All right. So now we need to find something for an ounce of resin. Let me I've got these two small ones, so we might as well, you know, since we've got this out, we might as well make him a little baby turtle. And as I make a mess here, and we'll make a turtle friend. All right, so we're just gonna do him opposite. We'll do his little shell in the turquoise, and then I'll color some of the resin, and we will finish filling him. All right, I don't want it okay. And We'll do the whole back of the frog just to see what he looks like, because this is a dull mold. So I'm probably gonna make another mold of this. I'm gonna shine up a frog and yeah, make a mold of it so it will be shiny. I want just a little bit more stones in this one if I can. Come on. All right. So let me grab I think I'm gonna grab one of the T-Rex alcohol inks. Let's do this laser green. So I think that will look pretty. Okay, everything is staying, and I don't have a ton of clear, so that's a good thing. I'm not liking that green. I think this is the one that I like, the Firefly. When we had done those other coasters. Yeah, now I'll just give us a little mixy up. Because there's not going to really be much of that showing. It's going to be basically the head and the little feetsies. I do got to get it in the head though. When I look at the mold through the front, it doesn't look like the head is full, but when I tip it, it does look like it's full. So we're just gonna hope and pray for the best, right? And I will probably end up having to do another something. So I'm hoping this green will give those stones like a different hue. I don't know if they will or not, but we'll find out. So I will probably give that about an hour to set up. I did see some dried resin, so I'm trying to get that. You know, because now is the time that I can bend the mold without having to worry about breaking that suction. Okay. So. All right, so let me just find something else. Might as well do baby axolotl. And this one, you definitely need something pokey to get down in the little gill things that stick up. And I should have sprayed these with alcohol, but I didn't. See how you can see how thick this is already getting? So that's why I'm saying in like an hour, I'll be ready to put my final coat on the big turtle. All right, so the next giveaway question is, how many followers do I have on my page? All right, so I will be back in approximately an hour, and we will get him filled up. Okay. All right. I'll get my gloves off. I will find one more thing to do with this, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys. So it's been 45 minutes, and it is tacky. It's not, you know, completely set, but it's tacky enough that we can put our next layer on. So I'm just gonna move my extras. So what I decided to do, because I think purple and turquoise are gonna be beautiful together, so I got out my purple metallic pigment paste. I got this on Temu. There's no name, there's no nothing on here. It is just a purple pigment paste. And then I'm going to put the Interference Violet into it once we get it mixed up. So I didn't know how much it was going to take. I did go back and watch my other video. My first part, I had put 2 ounces, and then I had mixed 6, and it was a little on the light side. So I'm like, I'd rather do 8, know I have enough, and then I can just throw it into an extra. So that's what I did. I made up 8. So I am going to stir this up, but first let me try to get these little crusty bits off of here. All right. See how it's got all this dried crud? I don't want that in my paste. So I am just gonna try and scrape some of that off. All right, so now I should be able to mix it. And if I can remember correctly, this it did take quite a bit. It wasn't as pigmented as I would have liked, but I will eventually be getting all of the eye candy pigment paste and color. I mean, mica powders and pigment paste, so. And I'm not even liking the way that looks. That is still way transparent. So, let's see. What, do I have another purple? Let me, I really didn't want to use mica powders, but I guess I have no choice. All right. We'll add the Let's Resin Dark Purple in. Because I want it to be an opaque purple. Worst case scenario, I could put some alcohol ink. All right, I think I'm liking that. And it is going to be a little bit on the thicker side. liking the color, but it is still too transparent. So let's see what we get with this. So I did run this through the small Let's Resin mixer on medium. Okay, I think that is better. So let's pour some of the Interference Violet in here. And I'm gonna do a good scoop like that. Now that should help give us that shimmer. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference or not, but we are trying. So it definitely has a shimmer to it. I don't know if the interference is going to have done anything. Oh, well. It is what it is. All right. So let me set this down. I am going to spray this. I thought about brushing the shell, but I did that on the last one. So I'm like, I want this one to be a little different. So we've got 8 ounces. Hopefully we have enough. Okay, so you can see a little bit of that interference. It's giving like a pink shimmer. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna need to make up at least another ounce, maybe 2. Okay. So, no, I didn't want to do that. I mean, I could leave it that way, but we might as well get it domed. And I'm not seeing any bubbles so far. So I will mix up another, say, 1.5 ounces, and I'll get that mixed and poured, and we will be back for the demold, guys. Okay, guys, these are all done. This is still a little warm, but we'll start with our little extras. So it ended up using another 40 milliliters is what I added to the pot to finish filling it. So yeah, I haven't calculated it all out, but that's what it took. Okay, so this is one of our little turtles. He's kind of cute. So there's one. And this is the other. So there are a few little micro bubbles in him, but that's fine. He's still really, really cute. All right, so let's, oh, we got a bubble on this one. And he has no tail. I kind of had a feeling that I didn't get down into his tail because of the rocks. Well, not the rocks, but the shells. But he's okay. And I'm gonna let him cool just a bit. Last time I pulled his little head off. I don't want to pull his head off again. So we'll get little Mr. Axolotl out. Oh, got one of his little gills, and he has a bubble in his back. But the resin was getting thick at this point, so I totally expected. But we could also submerge him in something. Maybe like put him in the big axolotl or something. And he's got a rogue piece of glitter or something. All right, so let's see how Mr. Froggy... This one comes out really easy, and we got a big bubble there. And that is what I'm afraid of with this guy because of the stones. Oh, but he's cute. He is really, really cute. So we'll just fill him up with some UV resin and he'll be fine. All right. Let's see here. Got a few micro bubbles. I'm gonna get one flipper out at a time here. If I can remember, that is the easiest way to do this guy. I mean, I can deal with a few little bubbles on the backs. It's the front that I don't want any. I'm trying to not flip him over so we can see all at the same time. And I do, there's one bubble there that I can see, but not too bad. Okay, we've got a couple bubbles there. It feels pretty good on the other side. Oh, he is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There's no bubbles on the front. Oh, he is beautiful. I'm so glad that I chose that purple. Okay, so we've got 3 bubbles there, a little bubble there. This one is not even sharp. So we're just gonna fill him in with some UV resin. And let's see if we, I'm gonna spray, just move him out of the way. I'm gonna see if I can. There we go. Oh, look, he's got one rogue shell in his head. But he's really cute. He's a little bit dull. It's funny, certain molds just, they don't stay shiny for long. But he is cute. Got a little cleanup on the bottom. I could have put a little bit more in, but so we'll give him some eyes. All right, so let me get my I guess we will use the new light. So I'll get it set up. I am going to put some gloves on, guys, so hang on. Because it's just going to be a little easier if I don't have to worry about my hands. Okay. So I'm just gonna get some in there, and I'm gonna take my tool just to make sure that it is in there. Pop any bubbles, because I have found that when you fill these, the little pocket will end up having bubbles in it. And I'm just going to give that a couple seconds. And then we'll just put them under there all, you know, for like a good couple of minutes. So I'm gonna get these little ones. I can try to fill in some of those. What you call them, the micro bubbles, yeah, that. I'm just trying to swirl it around, and now I'm trying to make sure that the holes are filled. Because some of these, you poke them and they get bigger, so you can get a little bit of resin in there. You're doing good. So just want it to set enough where it's not gonna run out. Actually, I can use my flashlight. That might make it a little quicker. And then I can just put it under there. So I'm trying to get the littler bubbles first. You know, and like I said, it's on the bottom, so it's not really going to be seen, but if I can fix the bulk of them, then I'm just that much better off. So then when I put my finger over it, I don't feel them. So that is way better. Okay. Well, these ones are a little bit bigger, so I'm hoping that by running my hand over them, I'll get the bigger bubbles, and then I'll just kind of run my hand over it to fill in any of the smaller bubbles. I am just so happy that we didn't get them on the front. That is so I just signed up for 2 more craft shows. And the last question for the contest is to put down what time it is that you are watching this video. that has been the hardest part, is trying to figure out how to do the video. You know, and what the qualifications were gonna be. Okay. So I'm looking at these at an angle so I can see if I can still, you know, see the hole or not. Okay, so let's, okay, so I'm gonna cure that, and I'm gonna start trying to fill in these bubbles over here. And if I tip it up, then that whole back side, and that's what I like about this light, it's you know, it gives a nice wide angle. I'm gonna try to get these two, and then I'll put a like a thin layer like over the whole thing. Just don't want any like jagged pieces that somebody could cut themselves on. Okay. And I got a couple small ones here. So I'm taking some out of the big hole to fill the smaller hole. And I think I have one on the other side, and then we'll be good. And then I can, yeah, I got two. Then we can just put him under the light to, you know, give him a good 3 minutes. He's not going to take that much, but see, like I popped that bubble, and now that is, so that one is still full. See, this is a deeper one, so it's going to take a few. All right. And then we have one more little spot, and I can get you some close-up pictures. Okay, so we've got all our little bubbles all filled in on the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna put this underneath this light, and we will, let's get some we can paint some little eyes on our, this is my acrylic marker. I think I'm gonna try this and see. And hey, I think that's cute. And he's not big enough to really And I'm just going to make 2 little dots where his eye is, because there's not really much to do with Mr. Said Turtle. And I can't find my clippers, or I would have fixed his neck. This is the one that's got the big honking neck. Yeah. Oh, we got to fix this little guy. Shoot. I forgot. Well, let's do it while we got everything right here. So considering those stones, we didn't do too bad. All right, let me get his wrong end. I think I want the skinny end. And let me zoom back out so you can. He has one tiny little bubble in his little eyeball. So I think he's cute. All right. So let me take this, and we still have this little guy to do. But this is our tray. Look at how beautiful that is. I am really impressed. So I do have a little bit of cleanup over here, but not bad at all. That's a sharp spot right there. So what I'll do is I'm going to get some final pictures, and then I'm just going to put these underneath the light for like 5 minutes, just to be on the safe side. There we go. I am so impressed. And I don't know if we gave him eyes, if it would show, maybe in the silver. Is it the, let's see. Yeah, I think the silver will work. Just so he has something for eyes. Alrighty. So I will get you some final pictures. And I got one more little thing here. Crap. This side indents, this one pops out. There. Okay, now I can get you some final pictures, guys. So don't forget, I'm going to run this contest is going to run until Sunday night. And on Monday, I will draw the winner. You will need to send me your name, address, email, and phone number. So remember that when you are sending your information. I will put it in the link once I pick the winners. So remember, watch the video, do what I have asked of you, and it will get you entered to win 64 ounces of the Craftor resin, guys. Alrighty, bye-bye. Good luck, everyone.